Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday. Happy September 1st. New month. New set of debacles. New set of idiots. New month for Biden to screw something up in. Okay. So this video today is kind of a back to basics one. And I'm doing it because I got an email yesterday from a new subscriber who, and here, if I can go through, I'll just kind of read the email. What did he say? Can you do a show on the 10 must-have items excusing food and water? I'm a fairly new prepper and really enjoy your shows, but this whole thing is a learning process. And absolutely, it is a learning process. I've said many times with prepping, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. Okay, it's a journey. It's not a destination. But it's always good for us to go back and kind of take a look at the basics, because we're all going to run into new preppers too, and they're going to be like, oh, what do I need to start with? The other thing is, I say all the time, you need to go through your bug out bag about once a month or so, or at least once a season, and make it seasonally appropriate. Okay. Now, Jeffrey asked in there to skip food and water, but I'm still going to include it in the top 10 because it's important. Food and water purification. Okay, so if you want to think things to have, excuse me, a Sawyer Mini, a Life straw, water purification tablets, bleach, at least one or the other Sawyer Mini or Life straw, and have water purification tablets and have bleach. Okay, and know how to use them. Okay, because in an SHTF situation, you're not going to go, great, I have bleach. How much bleach do I put in the water to purify it? Well, check the internet. Well, we don't have internet, honey. Okay, you need to know how to do it, ahead of time. Okay, it's something that you just practice, you learn, whatever it would be. It's pretty simple. As for the food, okay, I really don't have to tell anybody. You get your rice, your beans, your pasta. My personal opinion, okay, 1 year minimum worth of food is what your goal is, preferably 1 to 2. Okay, but and I'm not talking Mountain House or MREs or something. I'm talking about your basics that you're putting in Mylar bags, that you're canning yourself, that you're buying canned goods, your canned chicken, your tuna fish, your raviolios, whatever the hell it would be. Y'all seen my pantry. You know what's in there. Okay. Number 2, a knife. A good knife is crucial. Okay. There's a million things you can use a knife for. You want a fixed blade knife, for striking on a ferro rod, for starting a fire, for cutting anything, for self-defense, whatever it is. You need a good knife. Sure, we all carry a little pocket knife or whatever, that's good, but I'm talking you need a good bladed knife. You're not Rambo, not worried about something like that, but you need a good survival knife. Number 3, first aid kit. Okay, this is a must, and not the first aid kit that you buy at the dollar store or you buy at Walmart. Okay, you need a real first aid kit. There's not going to be a doctor around, chances are. Okay, and even if there is, you might not be able to get to them. Okay, you need to know how to handle wounds that are bigger than, oh gee, I've got a splinter, oh gee, I cut my finger peeling potatoes, whatever. You need to know how to handle bigger wounds. Okay. And I'll use this. Think of a stab wound as a minimum. That's where you want to go. And I'm not saying necessarily you got stabbed by a knife. Gee, you tripped and fell when you were out doing something and you stabbed yourself with a stick that was coming up. You were cutting wood and all of a sudden you hit your leg with the axe or something. Those kind of wounds you're going to need to know. Taking any sort of courses, knowing how to set a broken arm or a broken leg is good. Okay. But at a minimum, you need to know how to take care of a large wound. Number 4, cordage. Okay, paracord, rope, wire. All these things are absolute necessities. There's a million and one things you're going to do with cordage. Tying things together, pulling things, making traps, carrying stuff. You name it. Okay, locking a door. Tie the door up from the inside or whatever it is. Now you can't open it. There's a million things that you're going to need cordage for. And don't just get your paracord and think you got enough, okay? You need thin wire to make snare traps with. You're going to need a rope to pull anything heavy, pull a truck out of a ditch or something like that. You're going to need all sorts of different types of cordage. Tarps. Yes, the thing that like you put on the ground underneath you when you're painting a room so you don't get paint on the carpet. Yes, you need these. Both kinds too. You need the ones that are the vinyl, plasticky type, and you also need the ones that are, they're kind of like cloth or whatever it is, but they're waterproof, okay? These make excellent shelters in a pinch. You can set it up to collect rainwater. You can keep things dry with it, anything. I mean, it's pouring rain, you just pull it over your head and keep you somewhat dry, okay? I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with tarps. They're cheap, $5-6 or whatever it is. Get the better ones, don't buy the cheap ass ones, okay? But tarps are a necessity for a multitude of reasons. Wool blankets. This is hard to get. Best place I can say if you can find them is like an Army Navy surplus store. And the reason I say wool is waterproof. You do not want cotton blankets, okay? Wool's waterproof. Wool is very warm. That's the key, okay? You don't know where you're going to wind up, and you are going to need to stay warm and dry. Again, you can also take some, just like you can with a tarp, take a piece of paracord, tie it to a tree, stake it to the ground so it's on an angle like this, lay a wool blanket or lay a tarp over it, and you have an instant tent, okay? You stake the corners down. But wool blankets, staying warm is going to be very important depending on the climate you're in. I mean, wool blankets in Arizona, maybe not, but it does rain, okay? So you're going to need something to stay dry. But for the majority of the country, yes, you are going to need to have something that's going to keep you warm. You can deal with it's too hot, you can find shade, okay? But you can't get away from the cold. Communication, number 8, or number 7, I think it is, communication. We've all got our cell phones. That's great, okay? But if the power goes out or the towers go down, you can't recharge your cell phone, or the cell phone towers don't work, you're shit out of luck, okay? At a minimum, go to Walmart, get yourself a set of those $20 walkie-talkies. I've got them, okay? It's my last step in my communication if everything else is down. But at least that'll get you half a mile worth of communication. At least everybody in your group, especially the kids, should have that, because if you're a few hundred yards apart and you can't see something and something happens, holy crap, everybody get down. You don't want to scream, but you can use the radio. Okay, so some sort of communication, at a minimum, walkie-talkies. Seeds. Y'all know me in gardening, okay? Eventually, no matter how much food you have stored, you're going to run out. You need a way to make more food, okay? You know how important I've said gardening is over and over and over again, the whole playlist on gardening, okay? This is one of the top skills I think you need to get now before situation. You do not want to learn how to garden in an SHTF situation. When your life depends on it, you don't want to be going, oh my God, I hope my potatoes grow. You know, you want to know, okay, I know how to grow potatoes. This is what I do, poof. And then 4 months later, you got potatoes. Okay. Number 9, good footwear. A quality pair of boots, okay? Waterproof and preferably with a steel toe. They need to be warm as well. They may be the only pair of shoes you get for a while, so you need ones that are quality. You know, your tennis shoes, your flip-flops, whatever it is, are not a good pair of shoes. You don't want to be splitting wood using a chainsaw in flip-flops, okay? You don't want to have your only pair of shoes flip-flops and it's 12 degrees outside and snow. So get yourself a good pair of boots. Number 10, hygiene products. Soap, shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush. This is the one thing people don't realize. Disease will kill more people in an SHTF situation than starvation will, okay? So you need to do whatever you can to keep yourself clean, keep your area sanitized and stuff like that, because there isn't going to be garbage pickup. There isn't potentially going to be indoor plumbing. You know, everybody's like, oh, I'll just go get water from the lake or, you know, from the stream or whatever. Now look what goes on in Afghanistan. All right, these guys are sitting there standing in line to take a dump in a lake. All right, that's what I'm talking about sanitation wise. You know, you need to have anything and everything you can for hygiene. So, okay, y'all asked for my top 10. Not saying they are the top 10. Those are what I believe would be the top 10 things that you need to have. There's going to be a ton of people that disagree with me. If you've got other ideas that should be in there, please put them in the comments. I'm sure that people that asked for this video would appreciate it, and I'm sure there's plenty of other newbies in here that would appreciate it too. Have a good Wednesday, guys. Pinball out.